Every single day, you use a weapon against yourself. A tiny verbal knife that slowly, silently carves away your self-respect. These are not just polite phrases, they are toxic agreements. Agreements to put your own needs last, agreements to shrink yourself, because your self-respect isn't given to you. It is claimed through the language you use. We are cutting out the verbal poison that makes you look weak and feel defeated. Today, we expose the 6 sentences that destroy your value and the powerful alternatives you must use instead. 1. The apology reflex. Sorry, I know I'm bothering you. The number one self-respect killer. The apology reflex. You need to ask a simple professional question. You need to interrupt a friend for a legitimate reason. And what's the first thing that comes out? Sorry, I know I'm bothering you. Stop. That one sentence is a preemptive surrender. You are apologizing for your existence. You are validating the idea that your needs, your questions, and your presence are an inconvenience. When you apologize for asking a necessary question, you train the other person to view you as a secondary priority. You communicate, my time is less valuable than yours and my request is inherently bothersome. This immediately places you in a position of submission. Self-respect means treating your legitimate needs and inquiries as just that, legitimate. You are engaging in a necessary transaction, not begging for forgiveness. The fix is to replace it entirely. Use one of these powerful, respectful alternatives. Instead of apologizing, acknowledge. Use, do you have a quick moment? Or I need your input on X. This language is professional, direct, and assumes your request is warranted. It requires the other person to respect your boundary of time without you sacrificing your own standing. 2. The diminisher. It was nothing. Anyone could have done it. Habit number 2 is the killer of recognition. The diminisher. You just delivered a major presentation. You completed a difficult project. Someone pays you a sincere, genuine compliment, and you immediately shut it down. It was nothing. Anyone could have done it. This isn't humility. This is insecurity dressed up as modesty. You are actively rejecting earned praise. When you diminish your own achievements, you teach others not to value your work. You create a psychological barrier where you can't accept your own greatness. If you don't own your accomplishment, why should anyone else recognize its worth? Self-respect requires you to own your value. It requires you to accept that you worked hard and that your contribution was significant. Receiving a compliment gracefully is an act of strength. The fix is short and powerful. The direct thank you. You accept the compliment without qualification or counter-argument. Simply say, thank you. I appreciate you noticing that. This acknowledges their kindness, confirms your value, and shows that you respect yourself enough to receive what you've earned. 3. The permission seeker. Is it okay if? For things you've already decided. Habit number 3 is the ultimate sign of a lack of confidence. The permission seeker. You've already made a decision. You've already planned your weekend. You've already chosen your path. But you frame it as a question to a partner or colleague. Is it okay if I take Tuesday off? Or would it be okay if we tried my suggestion? When you seek permission for decisions that are rightfully yours, you give away your autonomy. You establish a precedent that your plans are subject to external veto power. A confident person communicates their plans. They do not ask for approval for reasonable, self-directed action. This habit screams, I am not the authority in my own life. It's a way of outsourcing responsibility and minimizing potential conflict, but it maximizes self-doubt. Self-respect is knowing that you are the expert on your own time, your own body, and your own choices. You communicate a reality. You don't beg for a conditional pass. Communicate the decision as a fact. Use firm, respectful language. I will be taking Tuesday off to visit family, or I plan to move forward with the X strategy. The structure changes from a weak question to a firm statement. You invite collaboration, not control. 4. The placeholder. I might be wrong, but habit number 4 is the verbal shield that defeats its own purpose. The placeholder. You have a great idea, a legitimate piece of information, a crucial correction to make, but you bury it under a self-sabotaging disclaimer. I might be wrong, or this is probably a dumb idea, but you are preemptively minimizing your own credibility. You are essentially telling your listener, you have permission to ignore the valuable thing I'm about to say. Why would you weaken your own input before you even deliver it? This is fear of conflict. This is the fear of being wrong. But leadership, influence, and self-respect are built on the willingness to state your case with conviction. If you don't believe in the statement you're about to make, nobody else will. You undermine your own value before the sentence is even complete. The fix is to be brave and direct. Drop the preamble. If you've done your research, just state the idea clearly and firmly. Based on the data, the most effective approach is X. If you feel the need to soften it, use an affirming qualifier that invites discussion, not dismissal. I've been giving this some thought, and I believe X is the best way to proceed. Own the idea. 5. The eternal justification. I'm only doing this because. Habit number 5 is the sentence that sacrifices personal accountability. The eternal justification. You agreed to take on a task you hate. You went along with a decision you didn't support. and you feel the need to explain your reluctance endlessly. I'm only doing this because I was forced to, or I wouldn't usually do this, but I didn't have a choice. When you constantly justify your actions by external pressure, you appear incapable of making decisions independently. You sound like a victim of circumstances, not a proactive participant. This phrase screams, I don't want to be held accountable for the results. It's a mechanism to evade responsibility and manage how others perceive you, rather than managing your own action. Self-respect means taking ownership of your decisions, even the difficult ones. If you agree to do something, you own it, regardless of how you got there. The fix is to choose your boundaries up front. If you must do the task, frame it as a strategic choice. I'm prioritizing this for the team's benefit, or I've agreed to take on this task and I will deliver it by Friday. Commitment without complaint or excessive justification is the hallmark of a self-respecting professional. 6. The need for validation. I guess so. Habit number 6 is the phrase that denies your own internal certainty, the need for validation. Someone asks your opinion. They propose a plan. You actually agree with them, but instead of a clear confirmation, you respond with the weak, hesitant, I guess so. This phrase implies two things. One, you are not entirely sure, and two, you lack the confidence to state a clear belief. It's passive agreement. It gives the power to the person who asked the question. If you agree, say yes. If you disagree, say no. I guess so is verbal lukewarmness. It shows the world you are easily swayed and have not cemented your internal position. Your thoughts and opinions are as valuable as anyone else's. Do not qualify your agreement or disagreement with hesitation. The fix is to use clear confirmation. When you agree, use firm, confident language. Yes, I agree with that completely. Or, that sounds like the best approach. If you genuinely have doubts, be honest and specific, not vague. I agree with the goal, but I have a concern about step 3. Eliminate I guess so from your vocabulary entirely. So here's the final message. Your self-respect is not a fixed asset. It is maintained daily by the words you choose. Shrink your language and you shrink your life. Expand your language and you expand your influence. Quit the 6 sentences that are poisoning your value. Stop communicating insecurity. Start claiming your worth. Let's recap the 6 verbal poisons you need to quit immediately. 1. Sorry, I know I'm bothering you. Replace with, do you have a quick moment? 2. It was nothing. Anyone could have done it. Replace with, thank you. I appreciate you noticing that. 3. Is it okay if? Replace with, I will be moving forward with the X strategy. 4. I might be wrong, but replace with, based on the data, the most effective approach is X. 5. I'm only doing this because, replace with, I've agreed to take on this task and I will deliver it. 6. I guess so. Replace with, yes, I agree with that completely. Which of these 6 sentences will you eliminate starting today? Let me know in the comments below. If this video hit a soft spot, hit that like and share button. It helps us reach more people who need this message. And if you're committed to building an unbreakable mind and habits that puts all these ideas into practice, make sure you're subscribed to our channel because we bring you practical advice ready to implement in your day-to-day life. Remember these insights and the solutions, implement them today. Just pick 1 or 2 and do it right now. And for more deep dives into strengthening your mind and habits, check the rest of our videos. One more thing before we wrap up. Take good care of your mind and emotion. This is the most important asset you have and your biggest investment. Protect and grow it every day so you'll reach that next level you are aiming for. Remember, your mind is worth fighting for. See you in the next video.